We are discussing about the Guru devotion, how a disciple should rely upon the Guru. And for that, I mentioned 5 points or 5 chapters. The first is to define the characteristic of a Guru. And the second is to define the requisite qualifications or characteristics of the disciple. And then the third is the benefits of the relying upon or having devotion to Guru. And the third is the faults or the demerits of the not relying upon the Guru. And the fifth is how to have a real Guru devotion or total relying upon the Guru by the disciple. For these 5 points, we have already discussed the first two, the requisite qualifications for the Guru and requisite qualifications for the discipleship. These two has been briefly discussed before. Now today I would like to touch the third point. Third point is what are the benefits of relying upon the Guru. Why a person who is aspiring to proceed in the path of enlightenment in the Buddhist way to achieve the Buddhahood. For that, a Guru devotion is a basic foundation, the beginning of all paths. So it is called the root of the path. So that becomes very important. And for that matter, the benefits and the profit which one can derive from rely upon or having devotion to a Guru is explained in many different ways in the Lamrim treatises. And we will discuss here in accordance with the Tsongkhapa's, the great treatise Lamrim Chimu. And in that, he specifies the benefits in 7 categories or 7 points. The first point is, the first benefit is the disciple will reach closer to the Buddhahood. This is a very important statement. How rely upon or having devotion to a Guru will lead you closer to the Buddha nature. The first is as the Guru teaches you the appropriate path and practice, how to accumulate the merit and the wisdom through which one can achieve the Buddha nature. And unless a proper teaching is received, you will not be able to practice the path appropriately. Without practicing the path appropriately, you will never reach to the Buddhahood. So therefore, the complete path with accurate sequence and with the techniques how to practice them in a best way, these are not coming from the scripture very clearly, and it needs the guidance of the Guru. So therefore, if you have appropriate guidance from the Guru, then your practice of the spirituality will become more effective and more powerful. So by that you will you will reach closer to the Buddhahood by his teaching. And secondly, to reach the Buddhahood, you have to accumulate the merit part of the samvara. And for that, the Guru is considered to be the most effective kind of object to whom you can accumulate a numerous positive karmic force, the merit of the virtuous thing, because the volume of merit accumulating from offering things to entire Buddhahood, entire Buddhas, countless Buddhas, and offering something to one Guru, the accumulation merit is much more offering to the Guru than the entire Buddha and Bodhisattvas. So thereby you have a kind of facility for the accumulation of the merit part of the path to get enlightenment. So thereby, having devotion to Guru will give you much quicker way to accumulate the merit and wisdom, and also you will have from time to time guidance and teaching. So that's why the devotion to Guru will give you shorter or quicker reaching to the Buddhahood. So this is the first point, to be closer to the Buddha nature. And the second is all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, enlightened beings, would be pleased to you. And by their pleasing, you will get their blessings. And at the same time, you accumulate a great deal of positive force, merit accumulation. So why the enlightened people, enlightened persons, the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas will please to you? Because now you are under a appropriate guidance of a Guru. That Guru is embodiment of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So therefore, like a representative, ambassador of the entire Buddha Kshetra, entire Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and pleasing the Guru, you will please the entire Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and enlightened beings, because ordinary people do not have a direct approach to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are scattered in various places and faraway places. And also, we are not able to see the Sambhogakaya or the Dharmakaya. We are only able to see the Nirmakaya. The Nirmakaya is in the shape of one's own Guru. So we have only the capacity to see the Guru, and seeing that Guru and having devotion to that Guru, all the enlightened, the conquerors, and the Buddhas will please to you, and that will increase your force of merit and wisdom accumulation. And the third benefit is in this life, you are able to have a proper rely upon or proper relationship, devotion to your teacher. By that positive karmic force, you will never be deprived of, or you will never be very fit, good teacher in all the coming lives, in the future lives. If you are able to have a good devotion to this life Guru, then that karmic force will automatically give you the ability or the opportunity to have very good gurus and very good teachers in all the future coming lives. So this is a karmic principle. So that is the third one. Then the fourth one is if you have a devotion to Guru appropriately, you will never reborn in a miserable or lower realms, because due to Guru's grace and also due to Guru's teaching, you will do all appropriate things in this life, and you will not accumulate bad karmic force which might lead you to the lower realms, the miserable realms, and you will always be accumulating the good karmic force by which you will ensure that you will reborn in higher realms, which will give you the opportunity to practice Dhamma further. So in that life also, you will have easily a good gurus and good guide, good teacher. So therefore, you will not be reborn in a lower realm, and that is the fourth one. Then the fifth one is you will not easily overpowered by mental defaultments or affiliations, and also you will not overpowered or accumulate negative karmic force, bad karma. Because the constant guidance of Guru, you will have the wisdom, or you will have the knowledge how to face the challenges of mental defaultments, affiliations. Whenever any forceful affiliation comes, you will be able to remember how to face that challenge. Anger, attachment, envy, such kind of negative emotions arises, you will immediately recognize them, and you will immediately have a mindfulness due to the guidance and the grace of the Guru. And therefore, this negative mental defaultments or karmic force will not overpower you. So this is the fifth benefit of the having a Guru. And then much more than that, the sixth point is you will never forget the Bodhisattva Acharya. What kind of Bodhisattva Acharya you shall have to practice, and what are the opposition to those Bodhisattva Acharyas, and be mindful about Bodhisattva Acharya, you will always accumulate a force of merit and positive karmic force, and which are always dedicated for the achievement of enlightenment, the Buddhahood. So therefore, you will very rapidly progressing your path in the enlightenment, and whenever the negative forces comes, you will able to face them and to encounter them, and not being overpowered and carried away by those negative forces. And by that way, your immediate objectives and your ultimate final objectives will be achieved quite easily. And the fourth one is serving to the Gurus and respecting to the Gurus have immense capacity to, as I mentioned before, immense capacity to accumulation of merit and positive karmic force, which is necessary for the enlightenment. And thereby you shall have a smooth progressing in the practice of path for the enlightenment. So these 7 are mentioned in the Lamrim Chimo, and the other Lamrins used to have 8 or sometimes 5. That doesn't matter. The most of the points are being included in these 7 points. So therefore, a practitioner should meditate upon gradually, first of all, the requisite qualifications of a discipleship, which we have discussed before, the 5 points of discipleship. If you are not possessing them completely, you should try to acquire them, cultivate them, and have the complete qualification for a discipleship. And then thereafter, you will analyze the benefits of the Guru devotion, the benefits of the relying upon the Guru, as I mentioned before. And you can read further in the Lamrim treatises, and all these points should be understood, and thereby analytical meditating upon these points, you will increase the willingness or the desire for the Guru devotion, for a rely upon a Guru, that kind of mindset is necessary in the beginning. So we should try to cultivate this kind of mindset through analytical meditating on these points. Then the second theme, the faults or the demerits of not having a Guru devotion. The Lamrim Chimo mentions only 3 points. The first point is, in this life, you will find a lot of obstacles, particularly in practicing the spiritual path. You will make a lot of mistakes and having wrong paths or doubts, which will hindrance for your progress in the spiritual practice. And by that way, you might be reborn in the lower realms in the next life, because not having proper guidance of a authentic Guru, a reliable Guru, you may do many negative things, and also you will be overpowered by negative emotions, affiliations, or mental developments, and which further lead to a accumulation of bad karmic force, negative karmic force. So therefore, you might be reborn in the lower realms, and that will hindrance for further practice of your dharma, your spiritual path. And similarly, the knowledge, the wisdom, the intellect in the path of spirituality, you don't have at the moment, will not be able to acquire or cultivate easily. And even you have some knowledge or some wisdom, that also there's a chance or danger of losing them, decreasing them. And similarly, the negative people who may lead you in the wrong path, and also to disturb the growth of your faith, your practice in Dharma, and give you a kind of worldly desire, greed, and doubts, which may ultimately become a kind of hindrance to proceeding in the path of enlightenment. So these 3 are more important point. And then generally, the opposite of these 7 points which I mentioned before, you will become, instead of closer to the Buddhahood, you will go further away from the ultimate object of enlightenment. And the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will not be pleased because of your decrease of growth in spirituality. And you may also have very difficult to find good gurus in the future lives, And similarly, the negative karmic force and mental developments may also overpower you quite easily. You may forget the Bodhisattva Acharyas and what kind of vows and do's and don'ts in the path of Bodhisattva will be forgot, and you may indulge in the negative forces. And similarly, you are not able to accumulate positive karma or virtuous merits due to a lack of the basic devotion to a guru. So this opposite of these 7 points are the demerits or the faults of the not having a guru devotion. So analyzing these points properly, you will cultivate a determination in your mind that I must have a guru devotion as a basic foundation for my path of enlightenment. And therefore, I think everyone in this group, everyone must have one's own guru in this life. And if you don't have a guru, and in future you are planning to have a guru, in that case, you should examine the future possible gurus is having the qualifications of the guru as we discussed before. If you already have a guru, then you need not to examine the guru, but you should take him for granted that your guru has all the requisite qualifications as we discussed before. So this completes the second and the third and fourth point to consider the benefits of the relying upon guru and the faults and the loss of the not having a guru devotion. So analyzing these points, then you will cultivate in your mind a desire, a very strong desire to have a guru, and not only having a guru, you will very properly, appropriately, according to the treatises, you will rely on them, you have a devotion to them without any default, without any kind of confusion or doubts. So now the fifth, the real thing is the fifth. The fifth is, as we mentioned before, how to have a guru devotion, how to rely upon the one's own guru. So this has 2 sub-chapters, how to cultivate or how to have a guru devotion. The first is cultivate Guru devotion in thought, or how have a Guru devotion mentally. Sambe Tensul, how we should have a mindset of a faith in one's own Guru. And the second is how to rely upon in action, Jurve Tensul. In action here means activities and also behavior, physically or vocally, outside behavior. So in these two subchapters we should discuss. The first, how to have a mental devotion, how we should train our mind for the devotion of Guru, and for that also 3 subchapters, 3 subpoints. And the first is train the mind in faith as the root of the path or root of the Guru devotion. The root of Guru devotion is having faith in the Guru. So that is one of the matter training. And the second is remembering the Guru's kindness and obligations. By remembering them, we should cultivate immense respect for the Guru. So this is second thing. And third thing is how we must have a general attitude towards the Guru, towards oneself and towards the Guru. And this is very important and comprehensive. So we will discuss these 3 points as I mentioned in sequence. The sequence is a little different from the Lamrim Chimo. Lamrim Chimo, the general attitude comes first, then thereafter the training in the faith and remembering the kindness comes like that. So for the convenience of listeners and also convenience of my own, I little bit revise the sequence. This makes no difference. Now, the first, how to develop a faith in the Guru. And faith is an English word. I don't know whether it carries the complete connotation of Shraddha, Sanskrit, or Tibet, Deva. The Deva or the Shraddha has 3 components. The first is faith in the nature of faith, having confidence upon. And the second is a kind of joyful or joyness, saying the qualities of something. For example, the Shraddha to Buddha, the first is joyfulness, saying the Buddha's immense qualities and its good things you will have a kind of joy feeling, happiness to see those qualities. And the second is you have a total confidence of faith. Whatever the good qualities, same of the Buddha, are authentic. It's not a kind of falsehood, or it's not mentally constructed. It is in reality, it's there. So this is the second component of the Deva, of faith, Shraddha, I should say. And the third is the desire to achieve those qualities by oneself. So, Tangwe Deva, Yichich Deva, Munduch Deva. So, having faith with joy, having faith with confidence, and having faith with a willingness to achieve them. So if these three comes together, then that is the real Shraddha. So here we are talking about the Shraddha, and we are using the English word faith, or it may also use the devotion. I don't know English connotation properly. Devotion and faith both may be used. And for that, what kind of Shraddha we should have for the teacher? In the Sharavakyan, in Binay Pitak, the disciple should consider the Guru as equal to Buddha. Equal to Buddha means, they explains that if you do some good thing to one's own Guru, the karmic force, the positive karmic force, will be equal what you do good to a Buddha. And also, if you do something bad or harmful to one's own Guru, that karmic force will also be equal to harming to or disrespecting to a Buddha. So that is equal as far as doing something, good or bad, which will accumulate the karmic force, as you will accumulate karmic force doing it to the Buddha. And in the Paramitayan, the Mahayan, it is not enough to consider the teacher as equal to Buddha. We shall have to consider the teacher as Buddha. My Guru is Buddha. My Guru is enlightened. My Guru is not an ordinary person. He or she is a real Buddha's embodiment, Buddha's manifestation, Buddha's Nirmakaya. So, in that way, we shall have to perceive one's own Guru as Buddha. Then it is your own thought projection, or it is in reality. This question comes at many times. And all the important treatises, it is in reality. Whosoever is your Guru, you have considered the person as your Guru, you have no doubt the person is of a Buddha nature. It's not an ordinary person. So this is the most difficult part in practicing of Guru devotion in the beginning of loving practice. So it will take years and years to cultivate unshakable faith in one's own mind, perceiving your teacher, your guru, with whom you have a day-to-day relationship, and it appears to you completely like yourself, an ordinary person, and that apparent of ordinary person is to be perceived as Buddha is a very difficult task. Tsongkhapa also says it is difficult to cultivate, but you should do it by practicing, by training the mind, and also accumulating merit and praying to a guru and one's own deity, and trying to eliminate the negative karmic force by repentancy or by other things, and all the do simultaneously, all these three things are combined, then you will able to cultivate such mindset, because the composite phenomena are always changing, always changeable. Your mind is also changeable. You will be able to achieve that. So to establish the Guru as Buddha, there are 3 points which should considered, which should analyze. The first point is to establish Guru as Buddha from the Buddha's own words, Buddha's own teachings. It is to establish the Guru as Buddha from scripture sources, references are coming from sutras and many tantras, in which says that in future Buddha as Uttam Nirmakaya means at this period we are in the Shasana of the Shakyamuni Buddha, the 4th Buddha in the sequence of 1000 Buddha who will appear in this aeon. And 3 Buddhas has already appeared in the past in the form of Nirmakaya, who give the Dhammacakra Parvatan to set the wheel of Dharma in motion. And his words are considered to be authentic and true. And he says many times, when the Buddha is no more in the Nirmakaya form, in the Uttam Nirmakaya form, that means as appear as Buddha Shakyamuni. And he have said that in future I will teach you in the form of an ordinary person, in the form of a person at your own level. So this is a kind of acceptance by Buddha himself, that I will appear in the form of Guru in order to teach you. So this is to establish the teacher as Buddha from the source of canon. And then the second is logical reason. The logical reason is that the entire Buddhas have immense compassion for everyone, and they will try at their level best to reach us, to outreach us, to teach us the Dharma. And we have no capacity to see the Buddhas in the form of Sambhogakaya or in the form of Dharmakaya. We also not reach to the period of when the Uttam Nirmakaya Shakyamuni Buddha was alive. So at this moment, all Buddha must have reaching to us, reaching to me, to teach whatever Dhamma I heard, I have received, I learned from my Guru is in reality is coming from the entire Buddha nature. Otherwise, we shall have to say that Buddhas are doing nothing for myself or for ordinary people around us. If Buddhas are doing something, then what is the channel, the agent, the channel of reaching Buddha's grace or Buddha's immeasurable action reaching to us must come through certain appropriate or visible channel. And that channel is only the Guru. And we have not seen any other channel. If the Guru is the agent or the channel of the all Buddha, the past and the present, then the channel must be equal to the all these Buddhas. The Buddhas may not rely upon someone unenlightened, someone not achieved Buddhahood. So, therefore, by this logic reasoning, rationality, since I cannot deny that Buddhas are not doing anything for me, for my enlightenment, for my betterment. If Buddhas are doing something, if they have immense compassion to me and people like me, they must be doing something for them. And that if we search how and through what kind of instrument or what kind of channel it comes to us, that channel is only the form of Guru. And therefore, the Guru is the agent or the Guru is the instrumental of the all Buddha's grace which reached to us. So therefore, the Guru must be logically equal to Buddha or enlightened person. So this is a second rationale to be considered. And then the third is we are not able to perceive one's own Guru as Buddha because we've seen so much faults, so much kind of defects. A Buddha cannot never have this kind of defect or this kind of what I should say, faults. And as we see in the ordinary form of a guru who has anger, who has greed, and who has a lot of shortcomings, how the person can be a Buddha, I personally see in this person so many defects. And then for that, we must realize that our own appearance or our own ideas have no authenticity. You can never rely upon one's own perception, one's own idea, one's own views. This can be wrong at many times. If we go into the past history, there are many great disciples have seen their gurus as indulging into numerous different kind of faults and bad things. Naropa, when he first made to the Tilupa, he just perceived Tilupa as an ordinary fisher and who has a short temper. And then he thought, it can never be my teacher, which was professed by Dakinis. And then later on, he realized that that was the real Tilupa. Milarepa meets Marpa the First, a just foreman plotting the land, and just an ordinary household person, and difficult to realize as a Buddha. So similarly, we can have a lot of misunderstanding, misgivings, even within our own family or friends. At many times, husband and wife have a bad relation, difficult relation, because of misunderstanding, misconceive from each other. And when they search in the reality, they find the truth, and then they become again recompromised. So, at many times, our sensual perceptions and our thought imaginations can be completely wrong. In my lifetime, I heard that someone who entered into Tulakhang in the main temple of the Lhasa to see the famous statue of Buddha. And the person went there and he see only the empty throne of the Buddha. And on that empty throne of Buddha, the Buddha's statue, he was never able to see from his eye. Eye was okay. He can see everything else, but the statue was not able to see. And that person later on approached to my teacher, Samdhong Rinpoche, saying that he experienced like that, and Samdhong Rinpoche gave him some kind of practices, and then I don't know whether he was able to see the statue or not. So the 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 basic point is what you are seeing, the shortcomings on your guru, is real, exist in the guru, or it is only your thought projection that is completely a matter of investigation, and you cannot rely upon what you seen, what you think, what you thought, what you have an ideas. All these are a matter of examination. If you examine them properly, then you will find that your view is fault, your perception is fault, and these are all a mental projection of your own, due to your own bad karma, due to your own negative karmic force. You are having this kind of untruth ideas, visuals, or many other things you may conceive or you may perceive. So you cannot rely upon them. So if you re-examine these things, you will find the real truth. So these three sequences, first, the Buddhas have said that they will come in the form of teacher, in the form of guru, in the future to give benefit to the people who are not able to see Buddha in Uttara. Then secondly, the Buddha's grace or Buddha's action to benefit to us is coming through the teacher, the guru. So therefore, the guru is the agent of the Buddha, and the agent of Buddha the Buddhas cannot be rely upon non-enlightened person as their agents. And the third is what I see, the faults and the demerits on my own guru is only my mental projection. It may not be in reality there. So this is three sequence how we should train our mind. We should cultivate an unshakable devotion to one's own guru, seeing the guru as a real enlightened Buddha. So this is how we train the mind into the basic faith or basic devotion. Now the second subchapter is by remembering the kindness of the Guru, and for that also there are three sub-points. The first is the obligation, the kindness shown through teaching us, giving religious teaching, dharmic teaching. So this is the first thing. And second thing is to give us the blessing and the grace. Many people do not understood what is grace. Grace does not mean the enlightened person can share his enlightenment to others or to give something which the person does not possess. But every person has a numerous accumulation of good karmic force, bad karmic force. The grace can stimulate the good karmic force and to postpone the bad karmic force for giving result, to stimulate one's own good karmic force to give a result. So this is the Buddhist understanding of the grace. So by grace of the Gurus, by grace of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, through the Guru, we are able to get immediate result from our own good karmic force. Thereby, we get many good things in time. And then the third is Gurus also socially support us by giving company, by giving friendship, or associating with us as an equal individual, ordinary person. So this is also a great thing. So these three things are to be remembered. Then also, the Guru is more kind to us, and the Guru did much more than the entire past Buddhas. Entire past Buddhas, we are not able to reach to them when they give the will of Dharma. So we are still remain as a conditioned person, unenlightened person until now. And the teacher is more kind and obligated to us than the not only the entire past Buddha, is also much more than the Buddha Shakyamuni. We are in his Shasana, in his Dharma, practicing it now, but we are not able to see the Buddha Shakyamuni in the Uttara form. And the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings are delivered to us by our own Guru. So therefore, the Guru is more important than all the past Buddha and then the Shakyamuni Buddha. So therefore, for us, the Guru is the only person who represents the entire Buddha, the Shakyamuni Buddha, and also deliver to us, relate to us, to the entire Buddha and Bodhisattvas. So therefore, his or her obligations must be remembered, and by that way, we should try to cultivate an unshakable devotion, faith, the Shraddha to one's own Guru. So this is how to mentally rely upon or rely upon in thought, whatever we may use the vocabulary. So this is the first training the mind into faith as a root, and remembering the kindness of Guru, and to cultivate a sense of respect, immense respect for him. So these are two subchapters. And the third subchapter is what kind of general attitude in the Guru-disciple relationship. What kind of attitude should have by a disciple to one's Guru. And this is very elaborately taught in the Gandhabhyu Sutra. Gandhabhyu Sutra is one of the famous Mahayana Sutra in which number of things are taught, and particularly the Guru-disciple relationship and how the disciple should have a mental attitude for one's own Gurus. It gave a number of things, but Tsongkhapa has quoted the new mental attitude, the nine mental attitudes which are prescribed in the Gandhabhyu Sutra, and he explained it into the Lamrim Chimo. So these are all kind of metaphoric expression. So the first attitude of a disciple should be like a dutiful child. The dutiful child is private translators have translated. I may use some other word, an intelligent son, intelligent child, or smart child. The dutiful child do not do anything which is contrary to the wishes and thinkings of parents. He always look to the attitude of parents and what they like and what they do not like. So the child always do in accordance with the liking and disliking of the parents, and do not do anything the child's own choice of liking, disliking. So similarly, a disciple should be like a dutiful child or intelligent, smart child. Always look to the wishes of the Guru. Whatever Guru has liking, disliking, and wishes and other things. So the disciple must be always act in accordance with the Guru's desire, Guru's attitude, not by disciple's own desire or attitude. So this is the first mindset. The second mindset is a mind like diamond. Diamond is very strong. It cannot easily broken. It can cut other things, but other things cannot cut this. So that means a disciple must have an unshakable devotion or faith. It should not be easily to disturbed or easily to diminished. The faith should not be shaken by other people's persuasion or by other people's information or any kind of outside causes. So one's own devotion must be so permanent, so unshakable, like a diamond. And then third is a mindset like earth. The earth never say any time that number of so much weight is put in on this, and this earth is able to support whatever is on this. The global earth is able to support anything which is on this. So this kind of attitude is any kind of work, any kind of duty given by the Guru should be accepted and then should never felt at any time that it is too much or I cannot bear it. So the disciple's mind is able to bear whatever kind of task or responsibilities or anything given by Guru, able to bear, able to take it, support it. So this is third kind of attitude. The fourth is like a foothill. Foothill is used, earlier translators, I sometimes use as a mountain. So actually the sutra is referring to the boundary mountain. Boundary mountain means in the Buddhist Abhidhamma, they have some conception of the universe and this earth. This earth used to have a kind of mountain around the ocean, and the ocean has a great force of rifts, and the mountains around the ocean can never be destroyed or shaken by the forceful waves and ripples. So similarly, the disciples' faith and devotion should not be able to shake or disturbed by any kind of causes or conditions. So this is a kind of having so forceful to stood against any kind of unfamiliar causes and which can never shake your devotion to the Guru. And the fifth is a mindset like a worldly servant, or in other words, in the past time, there used to be slave system. The slave system, the slaves or the servants shall have to obey everything from their master, and they have no right to raise any voice against them. So it is reference to the humbleness, having no ego, having no kind of I don't know whether self-respect is also an appropriate word. To consider oneself so humble, like a servant, whatever good or bad or anything given by the Guru shall have to be acceptable, and not raising any word of voice of dissent or thinking of dissent. And the sixth is like a sweeper. Sweeper is doing all kind of dirty jobs, and in spite of that, he has no complaint. So, if Guru gives a good job, it's okay. Guru gives a very miserable job, very difficult job, that also should be acceptable without any kind of dissent or disagreement. One shall have to be accept good or bad, everything. And the seventh is like a vehicle or foundation. These are all similar. Foundation, vehicle. In the huge vehicles, you can put so much things on that, and it carries, for example, the railway, so many rail compartments are tied with each other, and it goes by carrying so much weight or so much things from one side to the other side. So similarly, a disciple's mental attitude is any volume of responsibility, any volume of work given by the teacher should be happily accepted without any kind of hesitation or doubts. Then the eighth is a mindset like dog. The dogs, once attached to a master, the mastermind might beat that dog or mistreat the dog. The dog will never react in the similar way, will not be revolt. So this kind of mindset, so that the teacher may please to you, or teacher the Guru may displease to you. He talk with bad words, or he talk with praising words, whatever words he may use, the disciple must be react like a obedient dog, without reacting anything with its master, not revolting for anything. The ninth is like a ferry or ship. A ferry in the river which carries the passengers from this side to the other shore, the other shore to the other shore. Every day, hundreds of trips are taking one side to other side, but it never feel any tiredness. It never complains that there's so much trips is not acceptable. So for Guru's any kind of work which might be repeated again and over again, but everything should be very happily, willingly accepted, and do not show any kind of disagreement or a kind of tiredness. So this is a very powerful metaphor. The dutiful child, the diamond-like, the earth-like, the foothill-like, mountain, or the slave or worldly servant-like, the super-like, the foundation or vehicle-like, the dog-like, and the ferry or the ship-like. Mental attitude should be adopted and should be trained oneself in this way, so that a disciple can have a real devotion and a real shraddha mentally, and this is how we should devote mentally, or we should devote in thought to one's guru or one's teacher to whom the disciple is relying. So this is a kind of discussion. I completed the chapter, how train the faith as a root of the guru-disciple relationship. The first of all, the training of faith, and the second is remembering the kindness and cultivate the respect towards the Guru. And the third is 9 different kind of attitude which is to be cultivated in one's own mind in the process of having devotion or relying to one's own Guru. So this completes the how to have a devotion in thought. Now the second is how to have a devotion in action, and that might be discussed later on.